My girlfriend said, "If you cannot handle me going out with my ex, then maybe we should break up." I replied, "Whatever you want." What she did not realize was that I have been waiting for her to show me exactly who she was. And that single sentence told me everything I needed to know. I am 27, and until about 3 weeks ago I thought I was going to marry this woman. Her name is Danielle. We had been together for 2 years, lived together for 8 months, and I genuinely believed we were building something real. I work in commercial real estate, specifically property acquisitions for a mid-sized firm. It is demanding work. Early mornings, late nights, constant travel. But I made time for her. I always made time for her. Looking back, I should have seen the signs earlier. The way she would get defensive when I asked simple questions about her day. The way her phone was always face down on every surface. The way she had suddenly started working late at her marketing job 3 times a week when she had complained for months about how boring her 9 to 5 was. But love makes you stupid. It really does. The ex in question is a guy named Tyler. They dated for about a year before me, and according to Danielle, it ended because he was not ready to commit. She painted him as this immature guy who could not grow up. I believed her. Why would I not? The first time she mentioned grabbing coffee with him about 4 months into our relationship, I did not think much of it. People can be friends with their exes. I am not possessive. I trust the person I am with until they give me a reason not to. But coffee became lunch. Lunch became dinner. Dinner became we are just catching up, do not be weird about it. The night everything changed was a Thursday. I remember because I had just closed a significant deal at work. A property acquisition I had been working on for 3 months. I came home with a bottle of champagne, genuinely excited to celebrate with her. She was sitting on the couch already dressed up, hair done, makeup perfect. The kind of effort she had not put in for me in weeks. "Hey," I said, setting the champagne on the counter, "going somewhere?" She did not even look up from her phone. "Tyler is in town. We are grabbing dinner." I stood there for a moment processing. "Tonight, I just closed the Morrison deal. I thought we could celebrate. You did not tell me about that. I wanted to surprise you." She finally looked at me and her expression was annoyed, not apologetic, annoyed. "Well, I already made plans. We can celebrate tomorrow." I took a breath, stayed calm. "Danielle, this is like the 4th time this month you are seeing him. I am not comfortable with it." That is when her whole demeanor shifted. She stood up, crossed her arms, and gave me this look like I was being unreasonable, like I was the problem. This is what psychologists call blame shifting. Instead of addressing her disrespectful behavior, she tried to make my reaction the issue. "If you cannot handle me going out with my ex," she said, her voice cold, "then maybe we should break up." The words hung in the air. I watched her face, waiting for some sign that she realized what she had just said. Some flicker of regret. There was nothing. "Whatever you want," I said. She blinked. I think she expected me to argue, to beg, to get angry. Instead, I just walked past her to the bedroom and started packing a bag. "What are you doing?" she asked from the doorway. "You said maybe we should break up. I'm agreeing with you. I did not mean." "Yes, you did." I kept packing, clothes, laptop, chargers, the essentials. "You have been looking for an exit for weeks," I said, zipping the bag. "You just found it. You are being dramatic." I stopped and looked at her. Really looked at her. "Danielle, you just told me that your dinner with your ex is more important than our relationship. What exactly am I supposed to fight for here?" She did not have an answer. I stayed at a hotel that night. The next morning I went back to the apartment while she was at work and moved my things out. I had been paying 70% of the rent anyway. The lease was in her name, so walking away was easy. I left my key on the counter and did not look back. Update 1. The silence. The first week was brutal, not because I missed her specifically, but because I missed the idea of her, the future I had imagined, the person I thought she was. I threw myself into work. My boss noticed the extra hours and did not ask questions, just gave me more projects. I closed 2 more deals that week, kept my head down, did not check her social media, Did not respond when mutual friends reached out asking what happened. By day 5, the silence was deafening. She had not called, had not texted, nothing. I will admit part of me expected her to reach out, to apologize, to realize she had made a mistake, but she did not. Day 7. My buddy Marcus invited me to a networking event downtown, commercial real estate, private equity, some tech investors. Not really my scene, but he insisted. You need to get out of your apartment, man. You look like you have not slept in a week. He was not wrong. The event was at this upscale rooftop bar. Open bar. Good food, incredible view of the city. I was nursing my second whiskey when I ran into someone I had not seen in years. Patrick Chun. We had gone to college together. Lost touch after graduation. He had gone into venture capital and apparently done very well for himself. We talked for hours about work, about life, about opportunities. By the end of the night, he had mentioned a position at his firm, a senior role in their real estate investment division. Better pay, better title, based in Singapore. Think about it, he said, handing me his card. We need someone with your eye for properties. And honestly, a change of scenery might be exactly what you need. I laughed it off at the time. Singapore. That was insane. My whole life was here, but the seed was planted. Update 2. Day 10. Still nothing from Danielle. I had started the interview process with Patrick's firm. 3 rounds of video calls with their team in Singapore. It felt surreal, like I was watching someone else's life unfold. Day 12, I got a call from an unknown number. Ignored it, they called again and again. Finally, I picked up. Hello, is this Danielle's boyfriend? A woman's voice. Unfamiliar ex-boyfriend. Who is this? Silence. Then this is Tyler's girlfriend. Well, ex-girlfriend now, I guess. My stomach dropped. I am sorry. What? Her name was Priya. She had been dating Tyler for 8 months. Found out 2 weeks ago that he had been seeing someone else the entire time. This is called triangulation. When a cheater keeps multiple partners in the dark to feed their own ego. She did some digging. Checked his phone while he was asleep. Found the messages. It is Danielle, she said, her voice flat. They have been sleeping together for at least 4 months, probably longer. I sat down on my couch, phone pressed to my ear, and felt absolutely nothing. Not anger, not sadness. Just this hollow confirmation of what I had already suspected. I am sorry, I said, for both of us. I thought you should know, she said, in case you did not. I did not have proof, but I knew. We talked for another hour. She told me about the lies Tyler had fed her. The late nights, the business trips, the family emergencies that were actually hotel rooms with Danielle. I told her about the dinners, the coffees, the gaslighting when I expressed discomfort. They deserve each other, she said before hanging up. She was not wrong. Update 3. Day 14. The job offer from Singapore came through. Senior investment director. 6-figure salary with bonuses. Relocation package. Start date in 3 weeks. I accepted. That same afternoon, my phone buzzed with a text from Danielle. Danielle, where are you? 4 words. No apology, no explanation, just entitlement. I had already sold most of my furniture. My apartment was empty except for a suitcase and my laptop. I was sitting at the airport waiting for my flight to Singapore, a one-way ticket to a completely different life. I could have ignored her, probably should have, but something in me wanted her to know, wanted her to understand that her little power play had backfired spectacularly. I took a picture of the departure board. Flight AS892 to Singapore, Gate 47. Boarding in 20 minutes, I sent it. 3 dots appeared immediately, disappeared, appeared again. Then my phone rang. I let it go to voicemail. She called again and again. On the 4th call, I picked up. What the hell is this? Her voice was frantic. You are leaving to Singapore? Yes. When were you going to tell me? I almost laughed. We broke up, Danielle, 2 weeks ago. You made that choice. I did not think you would actually leave. I thought you would. She stopped herself. You thought I would what? Wait around. Beg you to come back while you were sleeping with Tyler the whole time. Dead silence. Yeah, I know about that, I said. Priya called me. Tyler's girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, thanks to you too. That is not. It was not. Save it. I do not care anymore, and I meant it. The anger I expected to feel was not there, just exhaustion. You wanted out. You got out. Now I am getting out too. You cannot just leave the country. Watch me. What about us? What about everything we built? What did we build, Danielle? A relationship where you gaslit me for months, where you chose your ex over me every single time, where you threatened to break up with me because I asked you not to have dinner with the guy you were cheating on me with. She was crying now. I could hear it in her breathing. I made a mistake. I know I made a mistake, but this is crazy. You are throwing everything away. No, I am finally starting over. Something I should have done the moment you gave me that ultimatum. Please just come back. We can talk about this. There is nothing to talk about. Goodbye, Danielle. I hung up, turned off my phone, and boarded my flight. If you think I was right to expose her lies and leave the country, hit the subscribe button. We talk about self-respect and moving on here on Story Sparks. Update 4. The New Life. It has been 6 weeks since I landed in Singapore. I am writing this from my apartment in the Marina Bay area, 32nd floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the water. The job is demanding but fulfilling. My team is sharp. The opportunities here are unlike anything I could have imagined back home. Priya and I have stayed in touch. She is doing better, started therapy, focusing on herself. We have become unlikely friends bonded by the shared experience of being betrayed by two people who deserved each other. As for Danielle and Tyler, according to mutual friends, they are officially together now, moved in together actually, into the same apartment I had been paying 70% of the rent for. Poetic in a way. She traded someone who would have given her everything for someone who could not even commit to one woman at a time. Marcus tells me she asks about me sometimes, wants to know if I am coming back, if I am seeing anyone, if I miss her. The answer to all three is no. I built a new life, a better life, and I did it in 2 weeks because she gave me the push I needed. In a twisted way, I should thank her. That ultimatum was the best thing that ever happened to me. My phone buzzed this morning. Unknown number, international code. I did not pick up, but they left a voicemail. It was Danielle. I know you probably will not listen to this, but I need you to know that I am sorry for everything. Tyler and I. It is not working. He is the same person he was before. I thought he had changed, but he did not. And I keep thinking about you, about what I threw away. I know I do not deserve a second chance. I know that, but if you ever come back, if you ever want to talk, I will be here. I will wait. This is called hoovering, trying to suck a victim back into a toxic cycle when the new supply runs dry. I listened to it once, then I deleted it. Some lessons you only learn the hard way. I learned mine. Now it is her turn. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking about the timeline of how I got the Singapore job so fast. Patrick's firm had been trying to fill this position for months. They needed someone who could start quickly and had experience with cross-border acquisitions. I had done 3 deals like that in my previous role. It was luck, timing, and desperation all colliding at the right moment. Sometimes life works out like that. Edit 2. For those asking, no, I do not hate Danielle. Hate requires energy, and I have redirected all of mine into building something new. She made her choices. I made mine. That is the end of it. Edit 3. Yes, the irony of her ending up with Tyler and him being exactly who she warned me he was is not lost on me. Some people really do get exactly what they deserve. Thanks for watching.